Hello, hi, hey, it's your good friend J. Scott Jewell back for another episode of Factorio, in which I promised to get copper smelting up and running, so let's make that dream a reality. We are going to need a lot of belt and a lot of miners. Actually, probably not that many. Oh, because we've already got a couple. Note to self, start seeing whether or not you have any before you go crazy on building miners. Get that guy all done. These ran out of fuel a million years ago, so it's a good thing we're updating all of this. Man, and whoever did the sound design, good job on this mining, because it is just the loneliest sound in the world. I feel lonely for that guy when I sit there and have him mine. Luckily, there's almost no reason ever to have your guy just mine manually. Spend pretty much the entire game with automatic mining of some form. Not even pretty much, you literally spend the entire game with some form of automatic mining enabled. Usually in the form of whatchamacallem, burner miners. Burner miners. And then, I know it's not terribly efficient, but grab that last patch like so. Get some transport belt. Run out of transport belt. Go grab some more. Oh no! This thing ran out of iron finally. Oh gosh, I need to drop off some more. Let us transplant this to the end of iron production. And I'll run on the belt to go a little bit faster. Whee! I like that about transport belt. Even when the stuff on top of the belt isn't physically moving, you yourself can still move a little bit quicker on the belt. Okay, so I should make those two into level 2 assembly machines. So I can have one of them here, and another one here. Have this one making gears, and this one making belt. And again, this is a super temporary setup. In an actual, production build, I would not be putting stuff this close to the source line. Yeah, eventually we'll be going for a main bus type setup, which is pretty common in the videos I watch because it's pretty effective. And you will see what I mean when we get to that stage. So power everything up. Put my box back down. And actually, I'll put my box over here because I'm usually probably going to be coming from the south to come collect it. And we'll get another fast inserter there. Limit the chest to 4 stacks. And drop down my inserter. Give it power too. There we go. Okay, so transport belt happening. Copper is the next thing that we need to happen. Oh, we stopped doing science. No. Okay, so there we go. At least get a little bit more science. 50 more. Right. Transport belt. If I have that go down that way, this one will be hitting the left side, and this one will be on the bottom, and then when I turn it up, it'll be on the right side. So that's technically a little bit more efficient with their flow, possibly, perhaps? Let's pretend yes. Okay, so we've got this messy forest of belt here. Where do I want this to go exactly? There's a big lake in the way, so I guess... Let's go... No, yeah, there's a big lake in the way, and also my science is in the way. Turn this belt that way, please. And just drag the belt along, and then up. Drag the belt... Oh, ha! Long inserter, you can come with me. Oh, okay, so we can go over to the right. Any old time, really. How about now? Now is a good time. There's a pole. Of course there is. Great. Moved it out of the way. Managed to not cut power. Have one belt duck under the other. Which, by the way, is what those underground belts do. So you place one end like so, and then the other end a small distance away. And then you can see which way it's going. And actually, if you press the R key on that, you can flip it to go around the other way. Which means on the main bus, which we'll someday build, you can get some pretty tricky stuff to happen with split lanes. Which is fun, but ultimately not necessary with base Factorio. With some of the mods I like to play with, it becomes increasingly necessary. But vanilla Factorio, not so much. So, twist that all around. Get my last underground belt up there. Okay, so that is all coming in. And then we are going to need inserters, and for inserters we are going to need iron is what we're out of. There we go. Oh, geez, I already made the inserters. Note to self, you did that already. Okay, yep, and I got all these set up too. Good job. Maybe I should start looking at what is actually in my inventory before I start crafting things. Might be a good idea. So I really like this setup. I used to do a setup with a full lane of copper ore and a full lane of coal, so 2 whole belts on either side. And it's a lot of fun to look at because it's got all of these complicated inserter setups with like a long-handed inserter to grab the coal, and yeah, it looked really cool when it was running, but I was always kind of mad about having, you know, just a whole other line for what seemed like no real reason. So I was pretty glad to find out about this cute little input setup here that splits things to both sides and keeps it all on one lane. Because, you know, I don't really like to spend too much time running the numbers on efficiency, because at some point, you know, it really is just a game, and I'd like to keep it a game and not a job. But, you know, I'd always suspected that it was pretty wasteful to have all of that ore and coal just sitting on the belt the whole time. Still running out of things that I can spend just red science on. Gonna have to get green science going soon. Well, we can do walls. Walls are actually pretty good. Not that I really like to play defensively with walls, but, you know, if I want to keep a turret safe or something while I'm out and about, it's not a bad way to get that done. No. Do all of the ones that are pointing the same way in one go, and then do all of the ones that are pointing the other way. That just seems like basic efficiency. Speaking of which, basic efficiency theory is something that is surprisingly hard to find books about in your local library. I figured, you know, somebody somewhere would have to have written some treatise on efficiency, you know, in the 40s, and I bet if I went to a college and looked up, you know, their industrial engineering classes or something, I could find a text along those lines, but That's how big of a nerd I am about Factorio, is that I want to find textbooks about how I can possibly be doing this better. But as far as I can tell with a cursory search at the library, there's not a lot. It's probably all hidden in texts about other topics. But that's iron halfway done. So the full setup would go another 5 furnaces for each. And then what I'm gonna do here while I'm thinking about it, let's make some splitters and underground belt. Oh man, actually while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to get rid of some of this copper ore. Just drop it off in all of these furnaces. Much cleaner inventory. And then also drop some of this iron ore. Ah, yes. So the thing I'm going to do while I'm thinking about it is split off some of the iron, and the splitter will take half of the iron. Hey, and nope, can't do it. Can't do anything because I need to start making green science, which is complicated compared to what we've been doing so far anyway. It's not too bad to set up. But let's do bullet shooting speed. I don't actually need more bullet shooting speed right now, I don't think, but... Okay, so I am preemptively putting that belt underground so these two can continue up through that space. You know, where it is right now is going to be in the way when I have to put more furnaces in the way. So let's mock that up. And that's as it is right now. If I want it running through here, it would be a 3x3 space that I'd be contending with. So I would actually have to do something complicated if I wanted to go through there. Let's say instead that I'm putting it through here, I still have to do something complicated. Shoot. Because essentially I'm going to need underground going out to... I can't do it. Can't do it the way I want to. I want to move it over to the other side in a way that won't disturb any of these operations, but I think what I'm going to have to do is wait until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The end of the full setup, so that'll go out to here. And then feed off. And then move out to do steel. Which steel is just iron plate and more coal. So I'll do another one of these cool setups. Which is... Okay, so the material comes in on the left into the underground belt. Man, the thing I really don't want to do is send all of this back down to the bottom just to... Like, I don't want to send it all the way back down to the bottom on a belt just to send it back up through again as more steel. Because that's just a ton of material sitting on the belt forever. And I guess I'm going to have to, no matter what I do, send it back. But what I can do Let's say this goes out this way, comes over this way. And then let's say that's where that one ends. So let's say I want my smelting, my source line for steel to come out that way. Then I would go 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then somewhere along there it goes like that. Or something. So we'll have this here. We will have inserters. Pulling in, pulling out. Then there's those feeding those. Okay. Inserter. Inserter. Furnace. And so this is going straight down there. Alright. So that means we've got that one pointing there, that one pointing there. And then that comes into there. Yeah. It's upside down, but it works. Okay, so that'll send iron plate to both sides evenly. Which is cool. And then we just need coal. So I think... It's a good way to get coal up there. What's a good way to get coal up there? I've got this coal coming off this way. Problem is that I've positioned this so that it'll join up right alongside this one, so I don't have a good spot to send coal up this way unless I go all the way around. Which I guess is what I can do. It's fine. So I will send that over. Or rather, send that under. Go way over this way. And I essentially need it to go all the way up here. And then I need to run out of belt. Move some trees out of the way. And I really need to find a place to just stash all this lumber I've been carrying around. It's probably not the most intelligent thing I've ever done, to just haul lumber around. Let's see. Another stack. Oh, transport belt is up north. I forgot. I just moved it. Running on transport belt. This whole factory is running on transport belt, if you know what I mean. And I hope you do. Okay, so transport belt. Coming down here. And let's see, if I was mining this for real, I would have a miner here and a miner here. So that goes there, that goes there. I think that can still mine even though transport belt is sitting on top of it. Hope so. That goes there, and that goes there. So that will snake all the way up and around. Come up there. and drop into there. Okay, so those are not being powered at the moment. And I don't have any power poles on me. Let's solve that problem. Okay, so I need one there and another there. And they will slowly fill up. There we go. I've actually had a different idea for steel that might be a little bit better. Right, because it doesn't actually matter where these two elements go. So... Oh, shoot. I ran out of steel axe. Let's hijack this real quick. Some steel in. Put some fuel in. Let that just go. Okay, yeah, but back to this idea. So, if... I didn't need to pick those up. I could have just left them. Could have left them where they were. Okay, so that goes there. That goes there. If I have this go up instead... and then just have that point like that, then I can put that one there, that one there. That turns in the way it was. This comes over one extra. And then this can come up here and go under all of that and straight up. So now I will be, belting all the material down. Oop. Shoot. Okay, got a little bit of iron on my line there. There we go. Forgot how the rest of the plan works. But there it is. Okay, so we will be belting the material down this length, but then we don't waste any belt putting it back up the other side. So, again, it's probably not the most efficient way to do steel in the entire universe, but it seems pretty good. It feels tidy, and I like that about it. But the absolute last thing I want to do is grab some iron, grab some copper. I can get rid of these since they're not actually working. I want to do a quick perimeter run again, now that I've got all this smelting going. Make sure that we're not about to get stomped on by any biters. Oh, and speaking of... here's a fun way to get rid of stuff you're not using anymore, like this pistol. You just put it in a box, and shoot it. Destroyed. Which, as far as I know, takes it out of the universe completely somehow. So that's interesting. Just do a quick check for enemies around the base. What'll be much nicer about this later on is we'll eventually be able to unlock a car. Somewhere, there's research. Well, there's tanks. There's the car. Automobilism. And it only takes green science. So we'll be able to get a car and scoot around the perimeter that way, which will be quite nice. So no new bases. That's great. As I'm take kind of the macro view here. There's my Steam setup. Oh, which I realize this one at the end here is one extra. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this last one is never going to be used. Or rather, there's just not enough water flowing in from the pump to actually supply an 11th steam engine. So it doesn't really make sense to put one there. So I'll just reserve that until I need more energy at some point. No, no, it's getting dark. It's the worst possible time to explore the perimeter. So maybe I won't. I will give it a little explore between episodes here. And then when we return, we will put together, I think, the beginnings of the main bus. So that's what we'll do next time. And until then, I will see you then. All right, goodbye. Worst ending ever. All right, goodbye for real. Goodbye.